Well, hello there. So this evening, I went through and I did an iteration loop on the power-up system, and more importantly, the weapons that are attached to the power-up system. So I'm taking some inspiration from a game called Space Megaforce a long time ago when the Earth was younger on the SNES, and that every time you get destroyed, your weapon set gets decremented, and then you can earn it back. So let me just jump in and show you where we're at. All right. So a couple things that are probably important to know is that it's dangerous to go alone, so you need to take this. So you have your top cannon matched to the top button here, the square button. You have the bottom cannon, which is a cannon, and then you have your middle cannon. So you start with basically both weapons. I really wanted to have a multi weapon design right from the start. And that's up here, the Gatling gun and none. So you start with nothing in terms of your middle, it's kind of like your missile or your extra like auto attack section. So you switch over to Gatling driver, and it changes your main top cannon. It's a little bit faster there. And then you get your plasma beam, and you also have essentially this kind of this missile that's a slow and then speed up fire. You switch over to Gatling gun. It's stronger there. You got kind of an automatic plasma missile ball thing in the middle. You got a little V shot in the bot. Switch over to the homing Gatling gun. So this one, you can't see it here, but it has homing properties on the Gatling itself. So it makes it a little easier to target. You have this kind of V shot spread thing on the bottom, and then a falling missile. Over to the warp cannon. Yeah, the warp cannon, you've got these shots that speed up, slow down, and then they take off. And the cool thing is they have penetration, so they can basically be in this kind of like mid stasis mode and still do damage and rocket through everything else. And you got a little bit of a classic laser, some Gradius style there, and we got a little bit of sort of a nod to the Ripple. Not quite yet. We're gonna work on Ripple still, but it's kind of like this shotgun-ish Ripple spread thing. Over to the 180 Gatling. And then this one here has what I'm calling the basically it's like a stasis field. So yeah, and so if you have bullets that take damage, it can protect you. And you've got Plaza, or you have a kind of a larger laser beam on the bottom. Over to the Gat spread. And this particular chain laser also penetrates. But the interesting thing here is that we got these spinning. We're called they're like what are they called? They're like spinning vortex missiles. So they can, on the field, you can use them to destroy, to obviously jump into things, but also to kind of protect yourself. So we got ring warp, homing missile, and super spread. Yeah, this is a little bit closer to Ripple. Still working on it. You got a homing missile there, a little bit slower, but on itself, and you got a super spread. It's also on a little bit of charge up. So you're kind of alternating between the things you want, in terms of with the situation. So over the heaven shot, the demon wheel. Yeah, the demon wheel is sort of like a little bit of a more protective, but also kind of a 360 burst. It's got a little taily tail there. Back to the plasma warp. I'll probably do an updated one. Kind of the thinking is that the top weapon is a bit more of your more rapid weapon. This one's close quarters. I'm called the heaven shot. And then your bottom one is a little bit more of the charge up. It does a little bit more damage. So it takes a little longer to use, but ideally is, when you're fighting larger enemies that take more that have more health, this will help you. So we're over to the triple lance. A little bit more of a classic nod here. And then here we have what I'm calling the basically the stasis shot. So sort of like a shotgun, and these bullets linger and do damage. And then on the bottom we have a charge up. It's like a massive cannon charge. So you have to charge and hold and let go, but you can get these pretty quick, but you have to let go of the button. So it's kind of cool to switch over. So yeah. And then we got burst spread, try shot. Yeah, this one's got a burst spread. So you got a bit more of a cooldown there, but it gives you perfect time to use your basically, it's kind of like your laser, sort of like a fire laser thing. And then the middle weapon is this tri-shot. So, and then you have to let off the button for that. So it encourages you gameplay wise to alternate between weapons, because you're always gonna get that burst shot off, or you can tap in between. And then we got Frost Barrage. Kept the flame laser going here for this here. And we went back and have a version of the essentially the warp cannons there. And then we have the Tenta Gatling. Yeah, it's a big bursty Gatling. So there's 13 weapon sets, and as you progress through them, they get stronger. Not sometimes in power, sometimes utility. And then here we got this kind of like ring warp thing that can protect you from bullets that take damage. And then you've got your normal power-ups that can increment, but also, as we were talking about a little bit earlier, I think I've killed so many things. Boom. So you can see that we're decrementing through the weapons itself. And yeah, oh, here's the laser spread. Yeah, so we're working on it. It's coming together. I'm excited. And now this gives me the ability to essentially both create a variety of power-ups, right? And then also to essentially have both ones that you can see where you want to mix and match and choose kind of your power set, but also it gives you the ability to then step through the each of your weapon sets as well. And then the other thing is that because we're going to use a point system here, then we are going to every time you pick up a power up, you're going to get 10,000 points as well. So it encourages you to also switch between your different weapon sets. All right, that's pretty much where we're at. I just thought you guys would like to see this. Sonny, if you're watching, I would really love the suggestion being that in a world I could see essentially where I have 3 types of power-ups, one for the top weapon, one for the bottom weapon, and one for the middle, and that you're essentially picking and choosing and switching each of those different weapons so you can really kind of drill down and customize the type of playstyle you want. So we're still working on it. I've got more weapons than I have weapon sets and slots for, so you know, one piece at a time. Who knows where this thing's going to go. Anyways, I appreciate your time. Thank you. Leave any comments and questions in the bottom, and we'll get to them as soon as we can. Bye.